Hey guys, today I am using this bath bomb, which is really big, by Gypsy Sirens Company. And it smells like candy. So I am very happy. So I picked this one because, first of all, she won't mind me talking about weird things while setting off her bath bomb. And second, because usually her stuff does last quite a while. And, you know, we're gonna chat. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Looking back, I can't remember if I really talked much about going to the doctor and getting checked for my period problems and things that were going on with me. I know I talked a little about it. I just don't remember. Like, I don't know if I gave a whole experience type thing or what. But basically, I'm going to sum it up again. I had many trips to the doctor, multiple tests, very painful experience, and found out I have fibroids. So they decided to put an IUD in me because my periods are so excessive with the bleeding, the pain, tons of blood clots, that they thought it would help. And the IUD was supposed to stop my periods basically over an amount of time. I have had the IUD now for quite a while. I didn't feel like checking exactly how long, but I've given it many months. It might be close to a year at this point. And I've never liked it. First of all, anytime you have something inside yourself, you're always thinking about it. Like, even though you shouldn't, like, even though it's harmless, every time I moved or thought about going sledding or jumping jacks or whatever, I'm like, I just wouldn't, because to me that was a bad idea. I'm not sure why I gave it so much thought, but I'm just like, every time I cough, I'm gonna push it into the wrong spot, you know? It just caused me stress that I shouldn't have even been having. But more than that, let's talk about, did it work? Immediately, the pain from my periods went away. The blood clots went away. It did what it was supposed to do. However, my periods were really fast. Like, my period only lasted about 3 days, because I think essentially what was happening is I was just having it all at once, like mass amounts of blood in 3 days, but then it's over, it's done. Like, so lots of pain, lots of blood clots, 3 days, but done. And once I got the IUD, then my periods, again, no pain, no blood clots, but they started lasting 10 days. On top of that, they started coming every 2 weeks. So for about 20 of the 30 days every month, I was bleeding. And by bleeding, I don't mean that it was a lot. I mean, you know, it could have been just spotting, but the point is every day there was some type of blood for 20 days of the month. And again, this went on for many months. But it did what it said it was going to do, right? Like, it stopped the clots, it stopped the pain. But then suddenly last month, all the pain, excessive amounts of blood and everything returned. And I was like, what the hell? This thing stopped working? That's strange. I had already decided I wanted it out of me, but it wasn't a big rush, right? Like, nothing was wrong. I knew I would have probably had to pay because they're not just going to take it out with my insurance for no reason. Which money wasn't an issue. I just live far away from the hospital, and I figured whenever I get around to it, and I want this thing out. So last month, excessive amounts of blood and pain and blood clots came back, and I was like, well, probably just go and ask them to remove it then, but I'm going to wait a month. I'm going to see how next month's period is. So that would be now. All the pain, all the blood clots, excessive amounts of blood, still here. And I was just so fed up, man. Now, I know you can remove the IUDs yourself. In fact, it's so common that they specifically told me not to do it. Because that's how easy it is. And I had no intentions of doing that, for the record. Being curious, when I first got it, of course I felt up there. Like, can I feel these strings? Can somebody else feel these strings? And I never felt it. It was fine. But yesterday, when I decided I had finally had enough, I decided to check again. And it was probably mostly due to me already being on my period, but they were very present. Like really low. Like I could feel it all. And so I decided to take it out. I mean, I'm thinking that it was already working itself out. That is why it wasn't blocking anything anymore, right? All the blood and pain and blood clots and everything had returned because it wasn't even in the right position, is my take on this. And yes, I know I'm going to get a lot of people saying, you shouldn't do that. Even the doctor told you not to do that. The point is, the doctor pulls the string to take it out. I pulled the string to take it out. If it would have hurt in any way, I wouldn't have continued doing it. Like, if it didn't feel like it was going to come right out, obviously I would have stopped as well and waited to see the doctor. But, you know, one little tug, it came right out, no pain and no nothing. Very easy. And I feel so much better now. That's all I'm going to say about it. Obviously, I still have the original issue of my fibroid. I think I'll wait about a year, go get checked again and see if it's grown. You know, in the end, I obviously went in there in the first place with the hopes of kind of getting a hysterectomy, but that isn't what they wanted to do. But maybe now they will, you know. Honestly, I really just don't care anymore. I'm to the point where after bleeding for 20 days a month, my 3-day gush periods are going to be more than welcome. No, I can't do anything during those 3 days, but at least it's 3 days of the month and not 20, you know? I would rather have to take some pills to kill the pain for a day or two than to never know when is my period coming, because it's literally coming every day. For a lot of people I know, it stops their periods, you know, within the first couple months. I wish that had been the case with me. That was my dream goals. But that is not what happened. Did you guys notice I remembered to bring my light this time? I also made damn sure this water was hot, so I am loving this bath right now. Sorry for the topic of conversation, but sometimes I feel like things just need talked about. I don't mean like I need to get it off my chest. Well, first of all, I do think people should know you can easily remove your own IUD, even though you shouldn't. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying it's easy and it doesn't hurt. It was right for me. You know, as females, I think we can kind of sense what's best for us. And I knew that was never right. I'm so weird, though, that the day I got pregnant, I knew. I was literally in the office for a couple weeks, every day, taking another pregnancy test, telling them I'm pregnant. And I just looked like the crazy girl who really wasn't pregnant, but wanted to be so bad. I know they thought I was crazy. They were getting tired of seeing me. But the truth is, I actually was pregnant. But those tests just take a while, or they did back then, take a while to even pick it up. So I wasn't crazy. I knew the day or the day after I got pregnant that I was pregnant. Were there side effects to my IUD? A lot of people complain about weight gain. It's almost the first of the month. I'm supposed to weigh myself, but I haven't yet, and I'm really not sure if I gained weight. I wouldn't say I gained a lot, if any, but you always have like this bloaty feeling. I mean, and why wouldn't you if you're constantly bleeding? I did have more headaches than usual. I yelled at people, but I'm really not sure. Not sure that was the IUD or just me in general. We'll see whether I get happier now. But, yeah, it could have just been me. I like to yell at people. I know my motivation's definitely been down and stuff. I'm excited to have it out. That's all I know. I do not at all regret taking it out myself. For the record, though, I've also removed my own stitches after my C-section. I never had any pain medication. I'm just kind of weird, I guess. I have a very high pain tolerance. I also remove my kids' stitches now instead of taking them back to the doctor. Like, I think as a mother, you just learn to do things. Like, you acquire skills. And plus, I have a medical background. So, there's that, you know? It's kind of like mama birds chewing up the food and spitting it in the baby's mouth, right? You just do what feels right. What you need to do, you get it done. And to me, that's just the way I've always been. Very spontaneous, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like, I get a thought, I think it over for maybe 2 minutes, but once my mind is made up, it's happening. Like, and it's happening right now. There's no come back tomorrow or think it over for a week. Like, it just happens. Like this house I'm living in, for instance, I didn't even see it before I agreed to buy it. Mostly because I needed it. But, you know, it could have been a disaster, but I just have instincts and I trusted them. And I am so happy here, you guys. Way happier than I was. And maybe we'll do a house tour or something. But for now, because it's been snowing so much, I haven't gotten everything moved. So some things are in disarray. Like, it's a disaster still. Hopefully I can get everything else moved soon. And then maybe we'll do like a little house tour or something. I still have the other house. My 2 oldest boys actually live there. Kind of like roommates. And it's right next door. So that's good. I mean, my husband and my 2 older boys get off work and they all come over here for dinner. So I actually see them more now. I mean, one of them was even living with me when I was over there. So I see him more now because he wants supper than I did when I was living there. In total, I have 3 houses because I also have the one at the lake that the oldest child moved out of to come to this one. So I need to sell that one. I don't want 3 houses. The lake house was ever only used for 4th of July, really, anyway. I mean, aside from my kid living there, but I was never there, except for on 4th of July. And, you know, taxes and lake dues and fixing houses and utilities, just all not worth it for that one day. So I'm gonna give it up, I guess. But that's enough of a chat. I hope you enjoyed my bathtub chat. This water is beautiful. It's very glittery. It's like candy. Hopefully the light makes a difference. And I will talk to you guys later. I'm sorry, again, for too much information. But, you know, I think hearing other females speak about things like that would have helped me in the first place. Then I would have known a lot sooner that what I was experiencing wasn't even normal.